She looks like a completely normal girl, a teenager with long, dark hair and an innocent smile. But behind this facade lies a dark truth. At just 18 years old, Isabella Guzman did the unthinkable. She killed her own mother with 79 stab wounds. What drove her to commit this horrific act? In this video, we delve deep into the harrowing story of Isabella Guzman, a case that shocked the world and raised one question. What led this young girl to become a murderer? Isabella Guzman was born in 1995 in the United States and grew up in Aurora, Colorado. She was the daughter of Yunmi Hoy and Robert Guzman. Her parents separated when she was young, and Isabella primarily lived with her mother and stepfather, Ryan Hoy. Isabella Guzman's father, Robert Guzman, originally hails from Colombia, while her mother, Yunmi Hoy, has Korean roots. This multicultural background influenced Isabella's early life, but there were often tensions within the family that intensified over time. Isabella grew up in Aurora, Colorado, and attended school like many teenagers her age. However, despite her outward appearance, which resembled that of a typical teenage girl, her life was far from easy. Reports indicate that Isabella faced many difficulties during her youth, particularly within the family and at school. From an early age, Isabella displayed behavioral issues. Teachers and classmates described her as a withdrawn and difficult child. She frequently clashed with authority figures, and there were reports of rebellious behavior and discipline problems. Her school grades were often inconsistent, and it seems she struggled to integrate into the social structure of the school. In later years, she was said to have attended school irregularly, making it increasingly challenging to keep her on the right path. Although Isabella Guzman outwardly appeared to be a typical teenage girl, her behavior and growing problems at school and home told a different story. While she appeared to be a normal girl on social media, sharing photos with friends, the reality behind the scenes was quite different. Conflicts with her mother increased, and her mental health deteriorated. Friends and acquaintances described Isabella as becoming increasingly withdrawn and aggressive. Her problems were often not taken seriously, and it seemed she had no one who truly understood her internal struggles. There was also a lack of adequate support at school to address her difficulties. Isabella Guzman's relationship with her mother was marked by constant conflicts and tension. From childhood, there were frequent disputes that became more pronounced during her teenage years. Yunmi Hoy and Isabella's stepfather, Ryan Hoy, were often concerned about Isabella's behavior, which grew increasingly rebellious and aggressive. The main point of contention between Isabella and her mother was the strict upbringing and the constant rules imposed by Yunmi Hoy. Isabella often felt misunderstood and constrained, leading to intense arguments. Her mother tried to maintain control over Isabella, which only pushed her further away. The conflicts escalated to the point where Isabella threatened her mother, and her behavior became increasingly unpredictable. Her stepfather, Ryan Hoy, often found himself caught in the middle. He attempted to mediate the disputes but struggled to reach Isabella himself. He later reported that Isabella was becoming increasingly isolated and estranged from her family. Shortly before the tragic incident, he reported to authorities that tensions at home had become unbearable and that they feared Isabella. Another significant aspect of Isabella's life was her connection to the Jehovah's Witnesses, a religious community to which both she and her mother belonged. The Jehovah's Witnesses play a significant role in the lives of many members, as they impose strict rules and a clear structure. However, this structure became a burden for Isabella. Growing up in this religious community, Isabella increasingly distanced herself from the teachings of the Jehovah's Witnesses during her youth. She felt constrained and no longer wanted to adhere to the strict religious guidelines. Her mother, who was very active in the community, tried to push Isabella to live according to the Jehovah's Witnesses rules, leading to frequent conflicts. Reports indicated that Isabella was considered apostate by the community due to her rebellious lifestyle and rejection of religious rules. This not only meant she distanced herself from religious practices, but also that she was seen as an outsider within the community. Tensions at home intensified as her mother took their religious affiliation very seriously and viewed Isabella's rejection as a personal affront. On August 28, 2013, it was an otherwise typical evening in Aurora, Colorado. The incident occurred in a family home located in a quiet neighborhood. It was around 10:30 p.m., a time when many families are settling down for the night. At this time, there were three people in the house: Isabella Guzman, her mother Yunmi Hoy, and her stepfather Ryan Hoy. Ryan was on the ground floor, while Isabella and her mother were upstairs. The family tensions had been particularly high that day due to a recent argument between Isabella and her mother. Yunmi Hoy had disciplined Isabella, which heightened the already strained atmosphere. That evening, Isabella Guzman entered the bathroom where her mother was. Without warning, Isabella forced her way into the bathroom, where her mother was trying to close the door. Armed with a kitchen knife, Isabella began to attack her mother. Yunmi Hoy tried to protect herself, but Isabella continued to attack her. Ryan Hoy, who was downstairs, heard the commotion and quickly went upstairs. He found Isabella in the bathroom and realized what had happened. Isabella, covered in blood, looked at him and then quickly left the house. After the incident, Isabella Guzman fled the scene. She was initially missing, prompting an immediate response from the police and emergency services. The police launched a search for her as she was considered a potential danger to herself and others. The following day, August 29, 2013, Isabella was located in a parking garage near a shopping center in Aurora and was taken into custody. She did not resist and was calmly taken into custody. Her demeanor appeared very detached and emotionless, which surprised both the public and the investigators. During her interrogation, Isabella Guzman displayed little remorse and made confusing statements. She seemed detached from the seriousness of the situation.
Just tell me how that feels.
Please fingerprint me, please fingerprint me, please fingerprint me. I will show you that I am not this freaky, horrible person. I want to meet my boyfriend. He's probably worried about me.
You aren't going to meet anybody.
I wish you could help us just make sense, that's all.
When you prove that I am not her, I'll be able to go.
Isabella states that her name is actually Samantha Gonzalez and that she is 15 years old. However, the detectives are well aware that this is not the truth.
So she's 110 pounds? That's really skinny. I'm 148 pounds.
Isabella, please.
Don't call me Isabella.
That's your name.
My name is not Isabella. My name is Samantha. There are people in this world that look alike, you know? You guys are not, like, all-knowing. You don't know everything. You're just accusing me of all this stuff that I didn't do.
We know what you did, and we know who you are. We know how it happened.
Apparently not, because you guys are completely wrong. You got the wrong girl.
No, we don't. We don't have the wrong girl, and you know that.
No, I don't.
How did it feel?
How did what feel?
When you did what you did, how did it feel?
I didn't kill anybody. That's disgusting.
Did it feel good?
It's disgusting. You guys really think I'm a murderer?
Yeah, we're not joking.
Did it make you feel powerful?
You. Just you.
Yes or no? Simple question. Did it make you feel powerful to do what you did?
Oh my god. I did not kill anyone. Can you guys stop, like, interrogating me? Or are you just gonna keep going around and around? And I'm really just trying to get fingerprinted so I can meet my boyfriend, so you can prove to
Would
me.
you like us just to leave, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just like us to leave?
We don't have the same fingerprints. We're not the
Wouldn't
same
you like
person.
this all just to go away, rewind back 12 hours, and have this never happen? We'd all like that.
I wish I could have, like, not walked through the parking garage so you would have not mistaken me for being someone else.
We're way past that. We're even not gonna
Worst
acknowledge
shortcut of
that.
my life.
What Isabella fails to mention is that she wasn't merely walking through the parking garage, but rather hiding. And in addition to locating the suspect, police discovered an array of items relating to the brutal crime that Isabella also failed to conceal.
This is not gonna go anywhere. You guys keep accusing me of being this girl and I'm not her.
What'd your mother do?
You're just repeating yourselves over and over.
After her arrest, Isabella Guzman stood trial, and the case attracted significant media attention. From her first appearance in the courtroom, Isabella's strange behavior stood out. She appeared emotionless, occasionally smiling inappropriately, and seemed unable to fully grasp the events unfolding around her. These oddities caught the public's attention and led to the case being closely watched. Throughout the trial, the focus was on assessing Isabella Guzman's mental state. Her defense attorneys argued that she was not mentally competent at the time of the crime. Psychological evaluations eventually confirmed that Isabella suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, a severe mental illness that causes individuals to perceive reality in a distorted way, hear voices, and experience delusions. The experts stated that due to her illness, Isabella was unable to comprehend the consequences of her actions. In 2014, the court concluded that Isabella Guzman was not legally responsible for her actions at the time of the crime. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity and was not sentenced like an ordinary murderer. Instead, the court ordered that she be committed to a high-security psychiatric hospital, where she received intensive psychiatric treatment. Isabella Guzman was placed in the Colorado Mental Health Institute in Pueblo, one of the largest psychiatric facilities in the state. She was to remain there until experts determined that she was no longer a danger to herself or others. This commitment to the psychiatric facility means that her release is not tied to a fixed prison term. Rather, it depends on when doctors assess her as stable enough to leave the institution. During her time in the psychiatric hospital, Isabella worked with psychiatrists and therapists to treat her illness. Several years after the crime, she expressed remorse in an interview, stating that she had not been in her right mind at the time. She indicated that she had since become more aware of her illness and no longer heard the voices that had once plagued her.
I don't know if you can see or not. I'm not mentally ill anymore. I'm not a danger to myself or others. If I could change it or if I could take it back, I would.
We've now reached the end. What do you think about the case? Should Isabella ever be released? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. It really helps support my channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.